I was feeling super creative, so I did this entire set in my living room, and I can't wait to show y'all. I'll do a BTS look and break down exactly what I'm using for this setup. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a video that I should have done like months ago, and that's what's in my camera crate or case or anything other than bag, because this is clearly not a bag. We gotta be organized. As filmmakers, we gotta be organized. To start, I guess we should talk about the case I have. This is the Pelican 1650 case. This is my favorite. I've grown into this case. I started with the Pelican 1510. I've been able to grow and adapt with it. I use the Pelican Trek Pack system, the divider system, so I can perfectly cut out slots for all the gear. Nothing shakes around, and it looks dope. Like when you open it up, I mean, legit, it looks dope. This lid organizer is from Jason's Cases. This is the best lid organizer you can get, I promise you. The one that comes with Pelican, it's trash. It just is what it is. The zippers don't work. It's super flimsy. The little mesh pockets are really, really weak and don't hold a lot of gear. But these Jason Cases are amazing. They really do work. They're solid. The Velcro straps I love. And it does a great job of actually being able to fit in the case, even with packed gear on the top and then having things on the bottom. So just a quick rundown of everything I have here. The top left, I have my gaff tape. You never know a situation that you might be in when you need gaff tape. So I have gaff tape up here in the top left. Right next to it is my variable NDs. I absolutely love these variable NDs. They're the Peter McKinnon, or the Polar Pro Peter McKinnon variable NDs. I use them for all the camera bodies that don't have built-in NDs, which at this point is all of my pockets except the 6K Pro, which is right over here on this camera right here. So hopefully you got me. Am I locked in? I'm locked in. So that is the Pocket 6K Pro. Other than that camera and the Ursa Mini Pro, all the other cameras need ND filters on the glass. So I use the Polar Pro NDs. Third pouch that I have is my tools pouch. It looks kind of crazy if you can get a tight angle of that bad boy. It's just random miscellaneous gear that I would use in the event that like a tripod leg got loose or I had to attach like a new base plate to a new camera or something like that. Right next to that, I actually named this one Extras, and this is just a bunch of extra cables, like charging cables. Right in this middle row here is all of my NPF batteries for the Pocket 6K Pro, but then also different, camera gear like monitors or lights and things like that. I keep about 12 of the 3500 milliamp hour NPF batteries in there. Just, I want to say it again, the Pocket 6K Pro battery life is garbage. It's trash. It is what it is. It's trash. Right next to that is all of my USB SSDs. So the SSDs that are in this pouch are already inside of a SSD hot shoe adapter. So I can just quickly grab one, slide it on top of a camera, and we're good to go. Next to that is all my backup SSDs. And I actually use an Orca bag. This is for lapel mics, but it fits perfectly your Samsung SSD. So in here, I've got one Samsung 1 terabyte, another 1 terabyte, and then I have a SanDisk 2 terabyte that I use to back up everything too. Absolutely love using this. And I just, for some reason, when you're dealing with media, I don't want things just rattling around like crazy, hitting each other. So this just makes me feel safe. If I had to take this out of this case, drop it into my book bag and fly, this can go with me. I don't have to leave it in the hard shell case itself. Next to that is all my rigging gear. I have all my different friction arms. I have different attachments and clamps. This bottom row, so all of my Pocket 6K cables are in here. So all of my USB-C to USB-C adapter or cables, all of my power cables for all the Pocket 6Ks are in here. Right next to that is my SDI, HDMI cables. Next to that is another set of ND filters. These are for my 82mm lenses like the Tamron 24-70, and then the 77mm lenses like the 70-200. Next to that is some more SDI cables and backup HDMI cables. That is my lid organizer. So as you can see, I got a lot of gear that a lot of people typically put in their actual case in the lid. I would highly recommend y'all check out the Jason's Cases. I'll leave links to the 1650, but then I'll also leave a link to their actual store. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but these lid organizers are probably the best. They're rugged, they're robust, they stretch, you can attach different labels to them. They're just fantastic. I would highly recommend these lid organizers over any other type of lid organizer. Now let's get to the fun stuff, and this is the bottom of the case. This is the heart. This is where all of the actual stuff that matters sits and lives forever and to be transported. Let's get straight into it. This is the Ursa Mini Pro, but this is my A camera. The second hole right here is the Pocket 6K Pro, and that's my B camera. These two cameras are always like my A and B camera because they have built-in NDs. As y'all can see, let me just state that I am, again, I gotta keep saying this. I'm a big fan of being organized. So everything in this case has a specific place. There's not stuff just thrown in. It is here because it was cut out and specific to this case. The organization system that I'm using again is the Trek Pack by Pelican. It is expensive. There are some ways where you can make your own, but I just say, you know, invest in, you're gonna put thousands of dollars in camera gear into this case. Invest into your organization setup. Whether it's the pads or the Trek Pack, this is gonna allow you to just protect your investment. Next to the Pocket 6K Pro is my top handles. This is the top handle for the Ursa, but since it's on a tripod, I didn't really need it. And then this is the quick release for the monitor that I use with the Ursa. But again, everything has a system. So I drop this bad boy in like that. It protects this, and the whole thing just slides right back in like this. Perfect. And then this little guy is actually for my gimbal setup, which I'll be doing a separate video. So moving on down, now we have my monitors and lights. And these monitors are both monitors that I use in the field. So the first one is the Adamus Shinobi. I love this monitor. It's bright enough. It's perfect for just your average run and gun, you know, scenarios. It's not nearly as bright as the Portkeys BM5, which is my second monitor. This monitor typically goes on the Pocket 6K Pro and is the monitor for my second. And then I use the Portkeys BM5. This is the WR3. This monitor for Blackmagic users, you can actually use it to connect to your camera wirelessly using Bluetooth and be able to control different settings like start, stop recording, your white balance, shutter, stuff like that. Overall, this is the best monitor. It's extremely bright. I've used this monitor in broad daylight and it's held up, it's never overheated. The colors that are accurate on this monitor, it comes factory calibrated. In fact, I should do a whole review on this and we won't do this today, but I should definitely get to that. Right next to that is the lights that I use at the wedding. So these are the Aperture MC lights. I have 3 of these and I absolutely love them. These are my on-camera lights. Every now and then I might be in an area where it's too dark and I actually need to use these to like add some ambience, or they're magnetic, so I'm able to sometimes stick these to light fixtures if I'm doing like hair and makeup shots and it's too dark in that corner. These add a nice little pop of light, even just setting them on ledges and different things like that. The Aperture MCs are my go-to lights. The middle of the case is all of my lenses, or all but one that sits off to the side. But at the very back, I have a 135 Rokinon lens. I actually love this lens. It's perfect, it's my ceremony go-to. Every now and then I'll use it for my toast. It has a really nice depth and focal range. In my own opinion, the DSX version of the Rokinon lenses are their best in the cheaper bracket, if you want to call it that. The 135 Rokinon is amazing. In front of that, I have 2 Tamron 24-70s. These are the lenses that I use pretty much the entire wedding day, with the exception of when we need to be at a distance but up in your face. And that's where right in front of them, we use our 2 70-200s. I have one 70-200 G2 from Tamron, and I have a 70-200 Canon Mark III. Honestly, I think if you had to buy one of these lenses today and you're running an EF system, I, drum roll please, would go with the Tamron 70-200. And my whole reason for that is because the stabilization in this lens is ridiculous. It's so good. Like, you just gotta rent one and use it and you'll see exactly what I mean. My reception lens is my 18-35, the trusty Sigma 18-35 art lens. This lens is amazing. You can pretty much do anything with it. You can be wide and close. The other 2 lenses, these are mostly my ceremony lenses. These are the Rokinon 85s, and I love them because, again, you get really great depth. These are usually what I use for my safety angles. Then my next, this is the pinnacle child right here. Like, I really do love this lens. It's the Sigma 50-100 f1.8. I promise you, this lens, it comes in clutch, especially when it's a darker venue. And sometimes having my lights, it's not enough ambience. The f2 aperture shooting at about 100 millimeters looks so good. I mean, so good. It's a really great lens. Well, which lens, if I could only take one, would I take? The Tamron 24-70. And the reason for that is because it covers so much ground. If you could only buy one lens and you're gonna film a wedding, a 24-70 will get you just about everything you need to accomplish. You can be wide in a bridal suite, you can be tight for the ceremony and the speeches. It covers it all. If you can afford just 2 lenses, 70-200 and Tamron 24-70. These 2 paired together, and this is exactly what we do at the wedding. In my fanny pack and in my assistants, we both carry the 24-70 and the 70-200, and we swap them out as we need to. In front of that is all of my, what are these? Handles. Yeah, my handles. In front of this Tamron 24-70 is all of my handles. I don't have all of them right here because we have cameras out, but These go on both my Pocket 6Ks, and sometimes we use this at the reception so we can throw on a monitor and be able to just kind of guide the camera a little bit better. So the last bay of the case is, in the very front is just my, you know, nice little DJI follow focus wheel. Isn't that so cute? This probably be a good thumbnail right here. All right, that's good. So my C and D cameras, more Pocket 6K. So we have a Pocket 6K in the front, Pocket 6K in the bottom. This used to be my gimbal camera, but now they are just dedicated C and D cameras. So ceremonies, we prop 2 of these bad boys up on the edges or the corners. The toast, we do a split angle. We have one that's typically in the middle, and then my assistant runs the 70-200 in his pocket, and then I run either the gimbal camera, which isn't in this case, but we'll get there, or I'll use my Ursa with another 70-200. In front of that is the V-mounts. Now the Ursa, all these cameras, like all of Blackmagic's cameras, every single one of them, from the Ursa all the way down to a Pocket 4K, the battery life is just trash. The battery life is trash. It just is. So like, normally you have little cute batteries for like your Sonys and your typical mirrorless. Well, the Ursa and the Blackmagics get batteries that are like this, okay? The V-mounts, this is what powers the cameras pretty much all day. The Ursa drinks through about 3 of these bad boys, and I don't even use the Ursa the whole day. Again, the battery life is trash. 2 more V-mount batteries. Now these are the Came TV Mini 99 watt-hour batteries. They're running the Samsung 18650 batteries. These are really nice because they're 99 watt-hours, but in comparison to the size of what a typical V-mount is, the size makes it all worth it. I can mount one of these under the gimbal, under my DJI RS3 gimbal, and it just balances perfectly. They're not too heavy, they last a really long time, and then even during the receptions, when we're using like a pocket, I can just mount one of these bad boys to the top and we're good to go. We can keep filming. And they don't add a lot of weight like a traditional V-mount would. And then at the bottom, underneath the V-mounts are a few Sony NPF 970 batteries. We use those for the monitors primarily. And that's it. That is what's in my camera case 2022, because I don't think I've ever done one. And if I did, it was a really long time ago. And my case probably wasn't even a third of this. So, and yes, before y'all hop in the comments, do I take all this to weddings? Yes, I do. Every single thing goes to the weddings because it's needed. You know what I mean? It's just needed. But wait, there's more. Before I let you go, I do have a new gimbal camera. It's the Pocket 4K. Now I know y'all are like, whoa, wait a minute. My boy bought a Pocket 4K. I'm actually gonna make a separate video on why I bought a Pocket 4K. And the lens of choice is the Olympus 12-100. This gets mounted on the gimbal and doesn't come off until the end of the wedding. But it is, to me, the best gimbal setup if you are a Blackmagic user. There's just so much I could talk about. We don't have time in this video, but trust me, I promise you, this video is gonna drop. The 2022 reason on why I bought, or wait, how would we caption that? Pocket 4K, worth it, 2022, you know, just to get some clickbaits. I'm gonna drop this video soon, y'all gonna love it. And I'm gonna show you the entire gimbal breakdown. So that is what's in my case. That was it. That was it.
I just thank God like you said. How can I not? Yeah, we straight. See the stop in like relay. Yes, on me like prepaid. If you ain't hip, you adios. I just feel like